Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of PodKAT. This is our final episode this year, actually. I'm
Yep,
with my guys as usual, Andrew Tosin.
it's good.
Yeah, it's been a long year of recording episodes.
For
I feel like
sure.
we've been very consistent the last couple months.
We've tried.
Yeah,
We have, and I like the fact that like we set out a goal, like I think the beginning of the summer to start recording more in person, and
yeah,
we've definitely found that consistency and we've kept it. So I'm
yeah.
excited to end the year like this, but also carry this into the following year because sky's the limit
Yep. I guess it's a nice little break for us to just,
for
because
sure.
we've actually been pretty consistent,
break
right?
for
So, and then obviously the goal is next year as well, keep up with the consistency.
Yeah, and even just more creativity around the content as well. We
Yeah.
definitely want to, do more of those challenges.
Oh, yeah.
We've had quite a few requests
Yeah.
about like more of those challenges, and then I actually ran into someone who listened to the podcast today, Sonto, and he mentioned that something along the lines of like a tournament or like the podcast team versus another team would be
Yeah.
interesting. So that's something we're definitely going to look into for sure.
I think those challenges for sure early next year we definitely should run back, a couple of those again.
Absolutely. But yeah, let's dive right into it, man. I think I'm the only Laker fan here, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. It feels. There's just a little bit of satisfaction knowing that everyone took the tournament seriously and the Lakers won. Like they had a clean slate. Like they didn't lose any game throughout that tournament, and it's just crazy to me that somehow LeBron is still the best player in the league.
I mean, I wouldn't say the
Or
best
in that
player in the
tournament.
league for a tournament, and I don't lie. Beginning of that tournament, I was like, there's no reason for Lakers to win this, but I just thought like, bro, like LeBron just has a way of just, it's like, oh, this is the first ever tournament. Lakers are going to somehow end up winning it, just to sweeten LeBron's
Legacy.
Like for that reason, I was like, I would not be surprised if Lakers win. And I was already saying this in one of my group chats, like from the first second game. I'm just like, bro, man, I'm like, can someone just no? I think it was the Suns game. I was like, bro, can Suns just knock out Lakers? Because I know these guys are going to win, and KD is the only person that has any chance of knocking them out, right? But yeah, I know LeBron balled out. AD balled out too.
Yeah, AD was dominant in that final game, but I think just LeBron's overall play throughout the tournament was just insane, man. Like, and why I say it's still shocking to me is because I know we always speak about 21st season, his age, but it's just, I think just the commitment to be that good. That's what really surprised me. It's like, you've already won so much, you're a billionaire. Like, people joke about it every time, but I literally think that guy has like the perfect life.
Yeah, and the craziest thing too is like, to your point, it's like, what are you still playing for?
What's the chase?
At this point?
Do you know what I mean?
But I think maybe that's the challenge for him, because he seems like someone that would always love to pick up on a challenge. Whereas like, we'll see how old, like how long he can keep playing
at this level.
I feel like he has already made the challenge already. Like him saying he wants to play with his
son.
Yeah, like that's already a challenge. So you need to be in good shape.
So, but guy, do you know how insane it is for you to be almost 40 and you're playing just as good as anyone else in the league? Like you can,
if
like,
not better,
because you can tell. Like I feel like the only reason LeBron won't be in an MVP, the only reason LeBron won't be in like an MVP conversation is because with MVPs, at least for regular season MVPs, you have to come in 100% every game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to drop in those numbers like every game. But for someone like LeBron, you can understand why he's not about to be giving his all every single game, right? So for that reason, he won't come into that conversation as as high as he probably should. But then again, the days okay, yeah, LeBron wants to win this game. When you see him play at that level, you're like, bro, like how can
there's
you
no
play, how can you play at that level?
It's crazy.
He can turn on the switch.
Yeah. The only players right now, and I'm not even doing any sort of ranking right now. The only players I'll say right now that are better than LeBron. Like, I don't care what LeBron is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Luka, Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, and probably like Curry and KD, like those guys. Like
Yeah, there's no one else. Like I feel like all those players are like LeBron's at like current like call it level or better than for sure. Like and they're not up to 10 players.
they're not up to
They're not
10. They're
players
not up to
in the
10.
league.
Like those guys are the only guys I know. Like on a like if you put them in like a series of games, they might outplay
Yeah,
LeBron.
LeBron,
But
yeah.
I still can't say that for sure.
Yeah,
Like LeBron can find a way to will his team to win, but those guys individually would outplay
Yeah,
LeBron. Like
yeah,
someone like
yeah.
Luka, that guy's been averaging like
bro, Luka
24
has been on
24
tier.
in the first half.
It's even unnecessary. Some things he does that doesn't.
Some
Yeah.
things I won't lie to you. Like obviously
You
this
guys
is a joke.
is too
This
good,
is a
bro.
joke, but like some of the stuff that he does to some black folks, I'm like, this has to be racism, man. Like this guy cannot be serious. Like the pace in which he plays
Guy is
at,
so good.
kind of like how he scores those three in like flurries. Like I always said it that if Lucas threes going at a high rate, he's going to be unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like I think that's always been the problem. Like we know he can score threes, we know he can shoot the step back, but it's always been around that low 30s. But now if he takes it to that like high 30s,
Low 40s.
low 40s,
You know, I feel the reason why he doesn't hit like those numbers regularly is because he's also
the usage.
I don't think he cares
assists
to even
more.
do.
Like
Oh.
he creates more chances because everybody's on him already.
Yeah.
Luka's going to make
Honestly,
his
I don't think
three.
Luka is someone that probably even works on his threes. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I feel obviously every player strives to be better, but the way say someone like maybe Steph Curry will shoot threes. Okay, maybe Steph Curry is extreme. Like, I don't know. Maybe someone like
Dame, Harden.
yeah, like those guys where it's like, because I know Curry is someone that definitely is shooting up crazy numbers like in training for threes, right? I feel like Luka is just doing like a normal level of like training when it comes to threes. Like if he should actually zone in on
He should,
practicing
man. He
threes,
should.
do you get? But again, I feel his game is obviously not around that. But
It's
he
overall, he
plays
has
like,
everything. He
he
has
plays
everything.
like I feel like he plays bully ball, like almost like LeBron in a sense, where just like bro, like you guys will play this game how I want to play. It's like
Yeah.
no one is going to rush me. To like, bro, I think his last 4-5 games he scored like almost 40 points.
Yeah. Whenever
Yeah.
there's a smaller guy guarding Luka, he's like,
Yeah.
nah, you're fucking with me, man. Like, don't do this.
Yeah, and when it comes to like just overall court vision, you think, oh yeah, there's no way he's seen that guy, and then he does something and does some some magic kind of pass, and you're just like, bro, like what? Yes, you young man.
Luka has
It's still on that 25.
Luka has
right?
Luka has 10 plus years in the league, man. 10
The
plus
only thing
years
that
of
can
Luka.
stop him, which would eventually stop him, is just I feel
Injuries.
Not even injuries, just like overall taking care of it. So like someone like Luka, I don't see Luka doing anything crazy past like 33, 35.
This kind of game doesn't require
Him
like,
to
him to have that kind of body.
I know what you mean,
He
but
plays very casual,
actually it
very
does because
slow
he
pace.
gets
he does because of
contact,
the
he takes a lot,
usage and
yeah.
because of his usage and a lot of contact.
Yeah.
And Luka plays probably one of the most minutes in the league.
Yeah, like he plays
One, and then
heavy
he
contact,
also has
like,
the ball the most in the league as well.
It might
So-
come in form of injuries, sure, where it's just like he's just not as available as normal. Where it's like, oh yeah, it's one injury now, another injury.
Yeah, but it's also one of those guys where like you can kind of just manage him to the playoffs because you know he can go into a game and score 20 in the first quarter. Like he has done that so many times against the best teams.
Oh yeah,
I saw that it was 30. It was 30
half.
first half. It was
Yeah.
30, 10 and 12 or some
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's just like outrageous.
That's actually unnecessary, man.
You-
bro.
You know what else is unnecessary? Draymond Green, man. Draymond Green does the most unnecessary things and then tries to play the victim. And I want you to speak about this because there was
Because I won't lie.
You've always been-
9 out of 12 of the things Draymond has done where it's just like guys are always on his case. I was just like, bro, man, like I don't really see the issue. But the last two things Draymond has done, I'm like, yeah, this brother.
Do you look back now and look at those other situations differently?
I don't, because I feel like I've always known Draymond is that kind of guy where it's just like on the edge.
But like, would you? Because you don't need to ask me twice. Draymond to me is a dirty player, like a very dirty player. Do you see him as that? Did you see him as that before, or now you're like he's on the edge of that, like, or he's a dirty player?
Honestly, before I would not have categorized him as a dirty player, right? Like there's a word very close to dirty, but like Draymond is just there's a word I don't know what the word is, but like It's just like he does too much sometimes and whatnot. But now it's just hard not to call him a dirty player. But at the same time, some of those things are also so blatant. Where it's just like, bro, like, is this
What?
actually is this actually a dirty player? Because I feel like dirty players are like sneaky and like
Chris
Chris Paul.
Paul.
Like Chris Paul is a certified dirty player because it's when you go and watch the highlights after that you will see what Chris Paul really
Was
did. Like they can even do uncut review and not even still realize what Chris Paul did. But Draymond will do something so blatant where it's just like this guy's not even trying to hide. What do you get what I'm saying? It's like he's stepping on someone. It's like he's not hiding that. He's punching someone on the court. He's not hiding that. So it's like it's just like, bro, is this guy just crazy or is he dirty?
and the approach we're all taking of like, Draymond needs help. Draymond is this. I get it. I get it.
No, bro. At this point, I think he actually needs
For
help.
sure.
So I just feel like he's done with basketball. I feel like he
It's tired. I know what you mean.
Slowly.
I know what you mean.
I don't really think like he needs any help. He knows what's wrong. He's a grown man. He's playing. He's not like a rookie. This is like
He also looks. I don't know if anyone has noticed, but he also looks uninterested too.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when he's on the court, when he's doing all this, he looks uninterested. Doesn't look phased. Like
that's why I
you
feel like
punch this guy, they're like, oh yeah, ejected.
Yeah, the moment after he does these things, he looks he's not wavered.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
he's just like, and then he's looking at the, I guess like the screen, and everyone is like making all these sounds like whoa, and I think he's just there like,
yeah, just like whatever, man.
and then obviously there's a lot of arrogance to it because of the kind of player he has been in the league, right? So you can hear him say stuff like, "I'm not the type of person to apologize when I mean to do that." I'm like, what are you talking about?
I think one thing that still resonates to me is someone said something like green, and then I guess obviously him being the Warriors and the Warriors like seem like that kind of team that they've done so much, but they will go down sad just because of everyone's call it ego and whatever. Where it's just like, like I feel like there's a way you can take the seat of, oh yeah, we've done this shit, like we're done, and now we're just having fun with it, rather than like the arrogance part of just like, yeah, like everyone, we do this one, that one, like, can you beat anyone if you want to, like, yeah, all that arrogance. And I feel like it's the reason, like, you see younger guys like Shy, like all these guys, like when they play Warriors, they love to play Warriors because it's like, yeah, I want to show you guys that you're like we can beat you guys whether whether you want or not. Like you're not better than anyone anymore, right? And you guys want to accept that, but we'll show you and make you accept
For
it.
sure, for sure. And it's I won't lie, one of the toughest things for me right now, and you guys have always, I'm not even like a Curry hater, but specifically like Golden State, the era with KD, all of that stuff. I'm a big hater of that whole crew. Like like straight up, right? But one of the toughest things right now is someone like Klay Thompson, right? Like some of those games, I mean, he's shooting himself out of those games most of the time because no matter how good of a shooter you are, no matter how many times you try these shots, I think when you're not shooting well, you try to put yourself in positions where you have open shots. But Clay, for some reason, still jacks up the same crazy shots, crazy threes, tries again, and then at the end of the night, you're looking at 2 of 11 from 3.
Let me tell you the thing with Clay, though. I think, unfortunately for Clay, for as long as I've been watching Golden State, in his prime, when he was still coming up and everything, Clay always has that period where he's just not shooting well. And bro, every single time he has come out of that by
shooting himself.
By shooting himself out of the game and all those things. And then at some point it just picks up. So for him, it's like, bro, this has worked for me the last 10 years of my career, for instance. Like, he's not going to stop now. So it's one of those things where, yes, it's one of those things where he probably might shoot himself out of Golden State or whatever the case is, but he wouldn't have it any other way because that's how he has found his rhythm back in every other season where he has started.
I just think it's lasted a little longer than he would like, and he's having to answer so many questions about being trash, their performance because they're losing. Right? Previously, like when he wasn't shooting as well, there was a lot of coverage around, okay, Curry's doing this, the team is winning, so you could kind of like put those things slightly under the rug, right? But now they're losing like 6 out of 10 games, 7 out of 10.
One thing I appreciate about Klay Thompson always Shy is like he's one guy that would always be
on up to it.
Just be honest and I mean, like the last thing was like, oh, He was just like, yeah, I've been trash. I need to do better. Like, it doesn't try and mask it. It doesn't try and, Draymond will have a lot more to say.
And it doesn't help that Draymond keeps getting suspended when you guys are trying to like pick up a bit of rhythm.
I'm just
Like,
sure Draymond has like a side or maybe his podcast or something.
For example,
Trying
podcasting like that, man.
so hard to like move into or something is.
oh, you don't think he wants to play?
I don't think he's
Yeah, I don't think he's interested,
He's
bro.
not interested. You can,
Or maybe he's
you can
trying to
tell
force
it's
his
not
way out of the
Golden
team,
State.
low key.
Yeah,
Low
There's
key.
something.
Like, that's
Well,
something
he's making progress because the last time Steve Kerr spoke about him, there was no sort of like covering for him.
I was going to actually say that.
It was so blatant.
Because for the first
Like,
time, I saw like Steve Kerr come out and essentially not try and defend Draymond, like not in the slightest. It's just like, yeah, but he even brought up the
Jordan Poole
incident.
situation.
It's like, yeah, it's like from last year, you can tell Draymond is clearly not the same Draymond. Because like I said before, I always felt like he always just pushes it to that limit and stops. But it's like over the last 3-4 incidents,
There's been
it's like that's way over the limit. Like, there's no gray area. Like, before it's like there's always a debate of, okay, I didn't mean it that way, or there's no. You get
oh, this person did this.
Exactly.
This person did
But
that.
it's like the last few incidents, just like everyone is just like, yo, like what? Like there's no one can defend anything he's done of recent. And bro, like for Steve Kerr to actually come out and not have Draymond back in the slightest, I feel like it says a lot.
I hope there's a back end to this that we don't see, where it's like players can message him like, yo, bro, are you like someone like LeBron being like, bro, are you like
For
are
sure, I
you
think for
good?
sure.
First of all, but like, are you also crazy?
Yeah.
Why do you just slap Nurkic?
Yeah,
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if my guy does something outside, I might not go at him and be like, oh, because KD and Draymond are clearly not guys. Like, no one has to tell me that.
Yeah.
Like, they are not brothers in the sense
Yeah.
of, oh, they are friends outside of the game. I don't think they are.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like, KD came out and said the same thing about like, oh, he needs help. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, they probably asked LeBron. He's probably dodged the question. But I hope there's a part where like they text in the group chat and LeBron's like, yo, are you like?
No, I think someone like LeBron, someone like Curry, I think those two for sure. They've definitely had conversations like both serious and joking. Where it's just like checking up on your guy.
Like, you really slapped that guy?
But
Like,
at the same time, it's just like, bro, what are you actually thinking? Like, what are you doing? Right? Yeah, I think definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think now he's out for
3 weeks minimum, they said.
Yeah, I think they didn't put any. Just maybe it's therapy, whatever he's going to go and
counseling, they called it.
Yeah. So I think that's the plan for him. Similar to Morant.
we got Morant back today.
Yeah.
Like, which is, I guess, honestly, it's just good for Memphis, man, because I'm tired of seeing them lose. Like, they've been decking them. They've had games where they've lost by like 25 points, like 30. They've been getting beat week in, week out. So I'm just happy to see that, they can pick up some form of
hopefully, Sha, because
they're not making the playoffs though.
Because that team is bad. The other person that, again, maybe he's one of the reasons, maybe he's not, is also Dillon Brooks. And I was also happy because when he played against them recently, he had a really good game, and you could just tell like there was some vengeance. No, but I don't lie. I'm so happy with the reaction from him, because I feel it was unfair for them to, like, when they kicked him out, they almost I'm just like, bro, there's no way you guys want to make Dillon Brooks like
the scapegoat.
It was like this was the problem. Dillon Brooks was the problem, and just like, so it's like, it's nice to see him play well, and then it's just like, yeah, you guys should take that. It's like they suck right now as well, so it's like
badly.
It won't be this bad if Dillon Brooks was still on that team.
I think even with Morant coming back and the competition in the West, like,
they're still in trouble. Sure.
They lost to Lakers last year.
Yeah.
So the entire hype about Memphis was built around Ja Morant, but when you see players like Jaren Jackson not even playing as well, Desmond Bain,
Jackson had like a.
But it's very inconsistent.
Yeah, but they're inconsistent.
Inconsistent.
Like, it's like when a star player of that caliber is out, it gives the other guys on the team a chance to show forth. So it's like Desmond Bain and Jaren Jackson could be that core piece of the 1-2 punch, but we haven't seen any of that. I think
the other thing with that too is, it might also just be a thing of, I feel certain players are actually not want to be stars or superstars. It's like they play well when their star is there. So it's like Morant being back might,
Help
especially someone
them.
like Jackson would help. I know Jackson would definitely play better with Morant being around. And then for Desmond Bain, just reduces the pressure and attention on him and like also frees him up. So they should be better as well. But I feel like they also have like a similar situation to Golden State in the sense where they only go as far as Morant goes.
For sure.
Right. And with Golden State, they only go as far as Curry goes. So it's just like, okay, is Morant going to come back and pick up? And, if Morant comes back and he's not really giving them anything, and anything, I just mean like normal superstar Morant. But it's like if he's coming giving them like 22, 23 points, 5 assists, yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere this season, but like it would even be sure that, okay, yeah, these guys are not doing anything. Because for now, they can maybe go on a run and make playing and, maybe fight their way up from there, but we'll see.
I feel like that's where like NBA has a flaw. Just like what you just said, like the fact that teams can just ride it out to the end of the season without any repercussion. Like we'll just try again next year.
No relegation, no
You can't really
nothing.
do that in like other
Yeah,
sports because like there's repercussion. Like you're probably going to get relegated. So
Yeah.
if you're coming back, you have to be on your best like immediately. But like Memphis can just take this season off and
Yeah.
just be like,
Yeah, next season we
and
go
then try
again.
next season.
Yeah.
That's
They can
facts,
even use that to get a good draft pick,
Yeah.
which is like stupid.
Works in their favor, right?
But anyways,
I mean, just briefly on draft picks, Chet has been balling.
Yeah.
Like, bro, guy had back-to-back 7+ blocks. Like,
And not just that, offensively too,
Yeah,
man.
he's
The
been
guy is
balling,
like, it's kind of like that missing piece that they needed in a sense. Like that guy who can
Yeah.
protect the rim but can also score when you need him to. Because they're depending on Steven Adams. Steven Adams is good, but that guy's time is over,
Yeah.
man.
Like,
Like,
I think he's injured now.
you know what I'm
right?
saying? Like he's also a bit crazy, but good crazy though. Not like someone that's
Yeah.
a bit on the other end.
Nah, it's been really good. I feel like obviously it's still too early to say, but you should be rookie. You should be. I feel like you definitely
For
should
sure.
be rookie of the year, especially also because he's just because of where OKC is placed. Like Spurs are one of the worst teams in the league. Obviously OKC have a better team, but it's like you can tell he's a part of the winning. He's not a passenger. Like he's one of the reasons they're winning.
Yeah.
And there's I can't remember who said it, but like how Ben Simmons was in the NBA, but he didn't play his rookie year to the second year. I feel like Chet is also benefiting from that. Like
For sure.
being around NBA players and training around NBA players, your first year, but you're injured. So like your first eligible year for rookie of the year is your second year in the league technically. So I think that's also playing out in his favor.
No, definitely. Quick thing that I also wanted to touch on was the losing streak right now. I think Spurs just got out of that by being the Lakers, but what do you guys think is going on with Detroit right now?
I just asked, bro. I think that's they're just not good.
And
this is fun to bet against.
you know what's so funny? The odds for them to win at this point is always so good. So I'm like, wait, they just win this one game. Like, because I think the longest losing streak in the NBA is 28. I think it was by Philly, if I'm not mistaken, 28 or 29, right? But the rate at which like Detroit are losing right now is very confusing to me because they have a decent team.
Yeah, it's good enough to not be on
to not be on a 24. Do you know what I mean?
They have a good coach, so.
And I'm looking in there like, at what point do you sack the coach, right? At what point are you like, okay, like the players just don't want to play, like, because obviously you can bring a new coach, hopefully that changes the culture, but even as players, how do you look at yourselves after like 10, 15 games of just losing? Like you just wake up, you go out and you play, you lose, you come back, you train. Like, and one of the biggest things for me is like, I was really looking forward to Cade Cunningham like coming out this season, balling out. Like, I don't think you can't be a superstar or like you can't say I don't know, like you can't say you have such a
like a franchise player,
and then you're in a team that you've played every game in the 24 losing. Like,
I'm sad because I think his last game he dropped for 42 or something.
Yeah, but you have to win one of those games, man. Like you have to like.
Well, you can't really blame him.
I'm not blaming him, but you can't be a
superstar. No, but I know what to say because just like there's just certain caliber of players that I guess,
It's a regular season game. It's not a playoff game.
was just like you just take over in a way where it's like, nah,
We're
winning
winning. We
this
need
game.
to get out of this.
Like, you know, so it's just like we're winning this game, and it's just like it's the reason like you see now superstars, like even when they were on struggling teams in their first 3 years, you would never hear of a thing of, oh, this guy was on a 20-something game losing streak because there was just that one game where he went for 49-9. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Where it's just like, yeah, I'm putting this team on my back. We can lose the next 10, no, but that losing streak ends today.
Bro, 5 games losing streak. That's bad. 10, 15,
20.
15 is like 15. At this point, you're going home and you're looking at yourself like, like you look at your last 19 games. L.
Nah, bro, that's crazy, man. I don't like.
Come on, bro.
I know the saddest part about coaches sometimes in this position is that I think sometimes it's like, to your point, it's like we lose, we just come back. You just look at yourselves like there's nothing. Something has
like
to
what's
change.
the post game speech? Like what do you say?
But the only thing that can change is the coach.
Yeah, unfortunately,
something you guys you just need to try something new. And typically, when a coach has a style of playing, there isn't going to be any drastic change. At most, maybe you're switching up like your starting lineup and the minutes and whatnot. But it's like your style of basketball, your approach to winning, all those things don't change. So those players, you know, that new spark they need was just like, okay, you know, we've been playing 4-4-2. Let's play 3-5-2, for instance. That's not going to happen. Do you get?
Yeah.
And I feel like it applies to both footy and this thing where sometimes it's like we love this manager for our project and whatnot, but something has to change. And we cannot change the 10 players on our roster. So we just have to sack the manager.
I think it was just, as I said before, it's another downside of the NBA. They'll just write it off every season or maybe sacking next season. Because at the end of the day, when you're trying to patch up midway through the season,
it doesn't really work.
So you just wait.
Except you make like a drastic trade.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know who's trying to go to Detroit right now, to be honest. I heard they were trying to go for Zach LaVine, but
unlike they can send, you don't to trade, you can send Bogdanovic away. Just before part 3-point shooting. Nah,
right?
No, I feel like if we're losing anybody we're losing Draymond for, we need size on that team, man. So if we're losing Draymond, we just need a defensive big.
I can guess Isaiah Stewart. That's his name.
Go for big.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess.
Speaking of records, on the good side, Steph Curry.
Is that a good?
It's a good record.
I know it's a good record.
I mean, it's a good record, but it's like it was also a tough one to lose.
Yeah,
you know, like
no, it is.
because it's not one of those games where it's like he was defended extremely well.
Just
It was just one of
shooting,
those like one of those bad shooting nights.
I think he shot
you know?
12 or something like that. I think the other thing was it was a close game. So it was one of those things where he could either selfishly go for his personal.
I'm being selfish.
Selfishly go for his personal record, or
was the record 3 threes in a game?
No, just 1 3 a game.
It was just like a 3 a game. So I think he's on 2. He was on 268 or something.
But I don't think he has that. I don't think he can break that record again.
No, he can't. It's not going on. It's not going on
because of the amount of games he has played. The last time he did make a 3 was 5 years ago in a game.
So you think he will not be in the league for 5 years?
I don't think so.
No, even though I think he can be in the league for 5 years.
So till he's 40?
But I don't think. I think Curry can definitely be in the league for 40. He obviously is meant to be down. I feel like he will play more of like a shooting guard, like
probably not the same team.
No, I think he will. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if he doesn't retire in Golden State.
Well, Jordan retired and came back, but still.
But yeah, I think the thing is, I just don't see him making a 3 every game for the next 5 years. Like I feel at some point in the next 5 years, maybe even this season, he would now more regularly have
games like that.
Where it's just like he just has a bad shooting night and doesn't make it 3. And it's just one of those things that happens. Like when you're getting older, like you're not as agile, mobile, as sharp, and everything.
Does record include regular season?
Everything. I think
that one was just regular season. Because the one that was regular season and playoffs, that one he already lost either last year or 2 years ago.
In the playoff game, he did.
Playoff game, he did 0 whatever from. I think it was even Celtics. I think it was the Celtics series.
No way. There was a game he didn't have a 3.
Yes, there was a game he played.
He didn't play. There was a game he didn't play as well.
But he did everything else well. But his shooting was. I think that was the game Wiggins took over. Yeah. I think he didn't make it 3 that game. So so it's an impressive record because it's like he's on 206 something. The next person is also him 100 something in a row. Then you have Cover with 120 something. You have Dame.
Dame has
currently
the
potential to.
one, but Dame is also on a streak of his right now. He's the only other person that has a streak that's close to that.
I know Dame is on 102, and like
And
it's
he's still active.
Yeah,
Okay,
active,
okay, he
yeah.
has the highest active streak,
Yeah.
I guess.
102 foul.
From 250.
Yeah. But see, here's the thing: when you
not
think
as
about
crazy
it,
though. Like the length of
That's like 2-3 seasons.
yeah, but then if you consider like these guys considerably like right now, each of these guys like probably jacks up 10 threes a game. You need to make 10% of your threes to continue that record.
Yeah, but Tosin, the other part about it that I just didn't think of is just like okay, over the next 200 games, what are the chances that
It is crazy.
Like this guy just has a bad night. You get what I'm saying? Like, but it's just like almost for 268 games, this guy hasn't had such a bad night where
That he couldn't make it three. Yeah, it's but the thing is with for someone like Curry, right, it's hard not to
make it three,
because majority of your shots want threes, and then also you get the ball a lot in those positions. Like Draymond Green is there to create those shots. For someone like Dame, I think if he tries to force shots in certain games, he's definitely not going to keep this record. He's not going to get close to Curry. Do you know what I mean? Like if he has a couple of games where like, you know, he's just jacking up threes, like he's not getting open looks and stuff like that, he's not going to get close.
Another funny thing is, a player can start the game and get injured and that ruins your streak.
Yeah, and the record is done.
It's gone.
Yeah,
So
it doesn't factor in.
It doesn't really factor.
Regardless, that record is nuts, man. And I'm sure he's a bit upset.
No, he's definitely upset.
Especially because
he could have kept it going.
One, and it's just like the way in which I guess like the whole Draymond thing, the fact that the team is struggling, is like we don't need to be in this position. I don't need to be in this position type of thing. Do you know what I mean? So and
to your point, with you mentioned Draymond now, I feel like that's one of the reasons why he would not be selfish in that game and just go for the record, because while in a position where it's just like, we can't afford to lose. Like every win matters. So it's like, let's say we're in a good place. It's like, well, if we lose this game, we may try to keep that record going.
Did you guys lose that game?
No, we won.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like he stepped back a bit in a sense where just like, okay, he was playing more for the team. Was just like, we need to win this game.
Man, I would
so like
selfish.
This game for my record. But it's just like, bro, man, that record,
I need it. I need it for my legacy, man.
Like, he needs it, but does it really need it? Is anyone close to him? No.
As of now, no, but you know, sometimes one thing I always just think of is like, okay, yeah, Curry is such a great 3-point shooter, right? I feel it comes with the era. Obviously, he's obviously considerably better than everyone when it comes to 3-point shooting, right? But it's like at the same time, some of the records I look at and I'm like,
people will break them.
I see people breaking this. There's some I look at and I'm like, bruh, even if you're a really good 3-point shooter, you still have to be really, really, really good.
Like percentage-wise and stuff like that. Record. Yeah, but stuff like the like 3,000 threes and stuff like that, and the quickest person to this amount of threes, people are going to break those records because we're in a 3-point centric era. Like the first shot a guy thinks of taking now in a game is a 3-pointer. Yeah. Luka is the quickest player ever to 1,000 threes.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel all those quick ones, all those ones will go.
Curry,
but the ones I feel like might not is when you start looking at, okay, how many threes Curry has made throughout his career. When you start looking at the averages per season.
Oh yeah.
Season, the percentages he's shooting at right from his first
percentages
season,
for sure.
You realize like Curry, so this 3-point shooting era we're talking about, Curry was already in it from his first season. Like he was playing that way, like he was dictating how he was moving. So it's like now everyone is now coming in playing at that, at that level. But now for you to now keep up with those records, now you have to do it as good as
for sure.
I think comparing this to football would be like probably like Ronaldo and Haaland. So obviously Ronaldo has crazy amount of goals.
Yeah.
But now people see what Haaland did in his first season, and people are like, okay, if he keeps on with that pace,
he can
break Ronaldo's
exactly.
record.
But can he?
But then when you look at it, it's like you need to score 50 goals
every season.
Yeah, like
that was That's when it's like, can you actually
Also,
do that?
like for some of the records that Curry has about how many he's made in a season, those ones might be a bit harder too because
Because he did that in his peak.
he did that in his peak. Like you have to also be at the peak of your
400.
Yeah.
402.
And
That's averaging like
it's almost
a game.
like the kind of year where Messi had 91 goals.
Yeah.
No matter how good you are, how do you
That's a
sit
crazy
down
record.
at the start of the season and think you're going to do that?
That's not like those
Yeah.
are like the Kareem records. Like
Yeah. I feel like there are certain records where he where it's just like, anyone touching that, now we're going to be looking at that person and being like,
You have to be in the
goat-
conversation.
Yeah,
You have to be
you
in
have
the
the conversation of good shooter.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, the only person that I look at every game and I'm like, bro, this guy is just Luka, man. Luka is the only player that I watch and I'm like, this guy doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like 3-pointers, assists, like he does everything to win a game. And the fact that he's winning is what's scaring me. Like if he was one of those guys that was just racking up points.
If we pair Luka up with the perfect second superstar, that's the
Someone
problem.
said him and Jokic might end up because there's a picture of them walking into Jokic and Luka would be.
Luka, Jokic.
The NBA will
That's game over, bro.
The NBA will let it happen.
I swear to God, that I feel like that would be a variation of like Steph and LeBron.
Steph and LeBron
in the
for
same
sure.
Era.
For
like
sure.
you can so just like prime Steph and prime. Yeah, I feel so. Brother, I say like a variation of it because Luka and Jokic on the same team. Brother, just put and you can
Wrap
put
it up
around that.
Imagine they do it in a way whereby Luka, like, or let's say Jokic starts, and then when he's going off, Luka is coming in. So like they are dead throughout the game.
As in they are possessed, like every minute of the game is being run by like.
That would be unfair because it's like those are two players that are just too smart to be on the same team. Like it would take like LeBron in his prime against that kind of team to be able to.
And I love the fact that in basketball, like we don't need too many analytics to know that those two as a pair would be unstoppable. There's no like it doesn't matter what kind of like it's also how I knew like KD, Curry, and Clay was like there's all like there was no math equation that you're going to tell me that that team wouldn't have been the best team in the world. I don't need to be an NBA player. I don't need to be an analyst. I can just see that, So yeah.
Yes. So my question, what to say?
Anything about who will be better or like Luka?
I don't know. I just skip my head. I remember it.
I guess hopefully remember, but maybe like to round up outside of your question, and again still on records is I saw one interesting stat where LeBron hasn't scored single digits since like maybe 2007.
What's that?
Like that in
16 years ago.
In regular
Yeah.
season.
Remember your question?
So what we just discussed about like Luka and Jokic, does that clearly show that the international basketball scene is way better than what people think it is?
I won't
Especially
say-
better than Americans.
I won't say way better, but
Because Lucas, he came from Real Madrid or from some EuroLeague team.
yeah.
Jokic also played in EuroLeague, I think one season or so. Giannis also played in EuroLeague, I think one season. I think aside from Embiid played basketball fully from the US. But every other player that's like dominating the league literally is from EuroLeague.
I feel my thing is I'll just say it's proof that there can be superstars from EuroLeague as well, but I don't think that necessarily speaks too much to EuroLeague in the sense that on average the players that are coming from the US would always still be clearly better than because it's like because
I don't get it.
so because like if you want to look at the say GOAT players or the greatest players to play.
Players are like,
No, they are there, I know, but it's like now, say you want to talk about the MJs, the LeBrons, the Currys, the KDs, like you know what I'm saying, like those are players that are still better.
Yeah, but that's when EuroLeague was just starting. Now EuroLeague is like is in a very, very dominant stage now, and I feel like the talent that they are bringing out that are leaving the league even into the NBA are coming to dominate.
But also you have to put it in
it's
context
fact, but those are
that
the best. But those are the best of the best. Like you, it's essentially their best. Talent.
even when they play in Europe as well. Yeah. So you have to look
That's
at
the same thing now. We're saying the same thing because what I'm saying is, if after 10, 12 years, these players are still consistent, they get into those debates.
for sure.
So it's like is the EuroLeague taking over from like the
I
traditional
don't think so,
domination
man.
of like
I wouldn't
American
say
basketball?
I wouldn't say taking over, but one thing we can also put in context is they always speak about how Lucas started playing for Madrid at such a young age against um, grown men.
Yeah.
For basketball in the USA, it's different.
Mm.
You at a certain age, you're still playing with guys your age. Like you only start really playing the
Until you
NBA
enter the
when you're like
NBA,
19. You start playing against older guys, but all the way down there, you're still playing against. So it takes you a bit longer to develop. Like Lucas said, it's easier for him to score in NBA than it is in Europe because
Yo, bro,
it's physical. The rules are different.
is
The atmosphere is
insane.
insane. But then he's been playing there much longer. He probably understands it. But how has he progressed in his career through playing the NBA? Like if it was better, trust me, guys would
yeah,
be going to
and
Europe.
No, I'm not
also
saying the league is better.
also
I'm
The
saying
players.
no, but
might
here's
be
here's
better.
here's the other thing about saying players are better. You look at Jokic, you look at Doncic, bro. Those are generational
Anomalies.
players. Like you can say, let's forget EuroLeague, NBA. You watch those guys. You like just IQ wise, those are probably one of the smartest players to ever grace the NBA. You can say so. It's just like I don't think that's an attribute of like EuroLeague definitely plays its part because that's where they grew up playing. But it's like I don't think that's the thing of Omo. If these guys, for instance, maybe they give birth to Luka in Detroit, that he would have turned out like this. You get what I'm saying? Because you can just tell like Omo, this is deeper than the environment. This is like a generational talent.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I'm saying. I'm not saying like this is like specific. I'm saying
There'll be more of them.
Exactly, like growing up, we've always seen America as that place where basketball talent come, like generational amazing basketball talent comes from, and every other country just comes to like like role players in this your thing, in this your basketball thing. And I feel like that has shifted.
Oh no, what I'm saying,
it's saturated completely.
And I think
top 5 players in the league are not even Americans.
Yeah, I think, and to that point, I feel honestly that probably applies across the board of sports in general. I think it has a lot to also do with like call it technology, like exposure. Everyone is just getting better at everything. So for as long as you start developing talent from a younger age, you would see the results. So if Europe decides, or they've decided that we want to take basketball more seriously, meaning people will start playing basketball from younger ages. We're training them with proper this equipments and that. Like obviously, when they start getting to the age, where now you can make the NBA and whatnot.
Grooming players, ensuring that they have the right.
Which US?
Yeah, like but
US have a couple players like
Canada,
Pulisic. Pulisic is a really good player.
You can see the
from the
improvement.
US.
You can see the improvement.
Pulisic is a really
good.
Like we're trying to.
But let's also.
No, but it's like we're trying. Guy, we're not talking
talking
about like forget Pulisic. Like the point is trying to make is that once you decide you want to start grooming players for a certain sport, you just get better. You get like even like this same basketball we're talking about, the same way the US now get challenged every time they go for any international.
I mean, they haven't won in the past couple of tournaments.
That seems like Argentina just now, like they're coming and they're players that we've never heard of. You get why? Because now they're playing basketball in those countries from a certain age where like now they can actually develop like proper talent in those sports. But yeah, I guess we answered your question now.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I was just trying to know if we're all like the same.
Yeah. And I guess just to round up is what I was saying about LeBron, where it's like, I think it's pretty crazy that LeBron hasn't had a single digit game in regular season since about 2007.
Because there's definitely been games where he's played like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I think they put that into consideration too, right? Like,
I mean, we all those records.
Something LeBron goes into the game
knowing that he must
like
score.
A benchmark for him.
Yeah, at least.
If I'm going to play,
I will score at least 10 points. No, for sure.
But like even if like they've blown them out,
I feel it's almost like Corey's approach to
the 3 points.
I must make my mark by scoring a 3 at the very.
Yeah, but he will retire with this record because it's something he can keep up.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
No, it's a crazy record. It's a crazy record.
It's insane.
It's a crazy record. Because even I saw some stats about like they brought up KD, Curry, Kawhi, Tatum, a bunch of other superstars in the league, and everyone has at least like 2 games, 3, 4 games where like they've scored single digits. But obviously, I don't know advanced. So maybe someone like KD, maybe one of those games could have been maybe he got injured. You get what I'm saying? But it's like again, they don't factor injury to those things. So meaning LeBron, even the games he got injured, he has scored 10 before he left the court. Because
Like,
if
yeah,
you get
I'm
injured,
injured,
they don't care.
but just let me make
Then
this thing, then yeah, you can take it
Yeah,
out.
but it's like
you know, it's crazy start, bro. The crazy start. Like you've scored 10.
There's guys in the league that
You've not
or
scored
guys
10
that are
points.
coming to the league that were not born, or they are going to be born. Guys that are coming like in the next two or three maybe drafts that will be born in 2007. Like guys have been scoring double digits.
Yeah, no. It's crazy, bro. Like I think that's an insane stat. Like 10 points since 2007.
there are guys that average 10 points now.
Yes, now.
Or even 8 or 9.
That's a good thing for their career.
That's a good thing. A guy averaging 10 points is a decent. Pat Bev is averaging 6 point something.
Yeah. And now, like, I feel like LeBron has probably one of the reasons he's also one of the greatest players. Like, he has one of the greatest combinations of like he's one of the smartest players to ever play the game, and like he has the physique.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying, like LeBron is one of those players that if he's having a bad shooting night, for instance, it's just good to go to the rim.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Is
Thank
that
you.
normal?
Is that yeah? No, but
They're not really
listen,
players that can do
listen.
that.
Because I know we used to have this conversation about like if Curry is having a bad shooting night,
You can't,
regardless
go
of
to the
how
rim.
good he is around the
Yeah,
rim,
But
there's
to a certain
some
extent, it can be so physical on you, but
that you
can't do
cannot,
anything.
like you don't want to get hit again, and it's just mental. But with LeBron, like I remember a time where someone was like, LeBron is one of the only players in the league that can pick up the ball, like get a rebound, go, score, come back, block, get the ball again, do the same thing over and over again. Like
Yeah.
on both sides of the court.
Yeah, like it's just unfortunate, like because like it's just his physique is just too good. It's almost like the perfect physique for like an NBA player. Where
For
it's like,
sure.
he can defend
The mobility as well, like
but it's just his own frame, man. So it's just like sometimes
action figure. You know when they give you like you're playing 2K and they just give you some points to make your favorite player.
you know,
You just make LeBron.
yeah, because like sometimes like someone says something, maybe for instance, bro, how can Curry LeBron will never. I'm like, bro, first of all, Curry LeBron is in good conversation. Curry's not in good conversation. That's one. Two, I'm like, I like how people conveniently leave out context of like LeBron is a 6'8", like
250.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Curry is what 6'3", 6'4" at best, skinny. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they can tend to just bully, and I feel like that's where his game improved. Where like he found a way to like stay in the game without getting physical. Because there was a period in Curry's career, even probably around when he blew that 3-1 lead, where it's just like, bro, they knew how to. Even Tristan Thompson, all those guys, I think they've come up to like they just knew how to like get Curry off his game by just being physical with him.
yeah,
And
man.
just like they just once they throw him off that way, he can't do anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he
a
has
lot
to-
stronger
yeah,
because
before-
because even Trae Young when he played against Miami, they were literally treating him like a kid. They were
Yeah.
bullying him. Like, because if you put a 6'6", 6'7" guy on those smaller guys, what are you like? If the guy is
Yeah,
mobile,
man.
what can you really do?
Like
Like,
once he hits you, and those guys, trust me, there are some things that are not fouls. Where it's just like we play sports, bro. It takes so much of your energy
and then
to withstand those things, and then to not keep running around the court jacking off, bro. You be tired.
but for someone like LeBron, like he can back you down,
Yeah, man.
can shoot the three, can go for it. Like you cannot stop his drive.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
I feel like one thing that has saved us from a next level of LeBron is like he was not that good, but it was not, let's say, he was not one of the greatest free throw shooters. Because LeBron was like a 90%, 85% free throw shooter, we're also in trouble because I feel like there's sometimes where he would just resist going to the rim, where it's just like, okay, you know what, I don't want to take free throws. But it's like, guy, if he was that good at free throws too, bro, it would have been unfair, man.
Yeah.
It would have been unfair.
Threes, like, I feel like he doesn't shoot much, but whenever he does
He
that,
gets it going.
the fuck you do. It's all over.
That's one of the funniest moves in basketball. You just look at the ball like this, slow mo. You can see it coming, but you can't do shit about it.
Nothing,
But
man.
yeah, nah, it's impressive, man.
But it's still not my goat, so.
That's all right. That's all right. You know, one more ring, and
Which ring?
one more ring, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Don't worry about it, man.
Me and you know is not winning any ring.
Let's see. Let's see.
I think I vote LeBron so much
I
that
think he will another ring.
I don't think he will, but
I won't
can
be
never
surprised.
Count,
I can't
never
count him out.
man.
Exactly.
I
Same.
can never count LeBron out, man. If things will just magically work out, you just see LeBron
Bro,
in
being
finals.
cast in like a year.
All it takes, he's gonna be wherever his son goes. But all it takes for LeBron to win another title is for, God forbid, but for him to play against another team and their superstar gets injured. Trust me, it's a wrap.
Or the other thing, but I guess nobody talks about this as much because nobody believes it to happen, is AD just being a monster.
Yeah.
Because if AD should be a top 3,
Like 2015.
if AD should be a top 3 player in the league,
Or how he played
consistently.
in the in-season
Yes,
tournament.
if he can be consistent on that level, bro, Lakers are good enough to face anyone. Because why? They still have LeBron. Doesn't plus that. Like LeBron just goes to be on the court. It's like, okay, things are getting tight. You guys need me. Okay, let me use some energy and just keep us in. Bro,
I think
the
the biggest proof of LeBron being really good and being a very good team player is the plus minus thing that we look at.
Yeah.
Like, I think every time he's on the court, like Lakers are like a plus 100 or some shit like
He's
that.
just
Like,
smart, bro.
and it's like he might not be scoring all the time, but just the effect he has on the team, like
he reads everybody's.
Yeah,
he reads everybody's.
So guy is so smart.
That shit is very scary.
He's so smart.
The fact that he remembers all those handshakes for all the players he's played with ever is also scary.
Sometimes he also rerun plays on like in front of me where it's like, oh yeah, you know, I did this, that, I passed the ball to this person, and it's just like, bro, like, how do you have all that just sitting in your head?
It's like what's his name? Mourinho. I was watching this podcast with Mourinho and Michelobi yesterday. And Mourinho was saying like word for word things that happened in a match in 2007. How somebody came off the bench, got a yellow card, and I was like 2007, bro. And he's saying this thing word for word. How the other coach changed formation and how he realized and like, bro,
how do you remember
how do you remember this thing? You just know that that's why they're paid the big ball. That's why they're where they are. Like, they're not just normal. They're not
and to be honest, I always say like a lot of athletes don't get a lot of credit for how smart some of them actually are, because everyone just looks at the physical side of it. Which, this guy can shoot. He's
an athlete.
Yeah, but just like, bro, some of these guys are like, it's like you talk about things like photographic memory and this and that. Like, you have athletes that have that on lock. Like, even football players, like they have like, you know how many plays they have.
That is one thing I still don't understand.
Like, bro, they know that shit. Like,
for all the oh, you didn't finish college, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. Those guys are fucking smart.
They're smart, man.
IQ, though.
Yeah, they are smart. Because you didn't sit down in science class or does not mean you're like you're stupid. You get what I'm saying? Like, if at the end of the day, I feel like there's a certain level of IQ, brain power, IQ that if you do not have,
you can't be a professional athlete.
You can't be a professional athlete.
Yes. You can't learn everything.
Exactly.
You
so
you
can't.
No.
You know, but yeah, man.
But yeah. I think it was a good episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, man. Honestly, these conversations are always super interesting. But yeah, thank you guys for staying to this long.
Imagine we do a live show. Do you guys remember?
I think that would be fun. No, for sure. Like where's just I've thought about it. Yeah, we have a bunch of other people.
How we do it? I don't know.
But it's not. I think it would just be, you would just have like a calling mini stage, and we just have. You will have guests there, and then we'll have people also just watching live.
I feel like we should.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
For sure.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess last episode of the year. Thanks to everyone for watching up until this point, and we'll see you guys next year. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
All right. Merry Christmas, guys. Happy New Year. Peace.